The purpose of this bill, as I see it, is to help the working poor of this state. And there's been a lot of emotion that has been set forth today. And I don't believe that there is one person in this chamber that doesn't want to help the working poor. But I do believe that there is a legitimate debate about how we should go about helping the working poor of this state. And this bill, which seeks to raise the minimum wage from $7.25 to $8.50 with yearly escalators, in my opinion, at this time, is the wrong path for this state to take. And I say that for several reasons. First, the history of this issue can serve as an indicator for us here in the chamber with regards to what has happened in years past. Now, we previously spoke about a 2008 joint study that was performed by Cornell University and American University. And the results of that study found that the state's minimum wage increase from $5.15 to $6.75 per hour resulted in a 26% reduction in employment among 16 and 29-year-olds that did not have a high school degree. The same study found that the minimum wage hike from $17.50 to $8.25 would only benefit 20% of the working living in poor households. Now, this effect that would have on workers, but what's the effect that it will have on employers? Estimates provided by the National Federation of Independent Businesses and Business Council have projected additional wage costs of over $2,900 per employee if this bill was to be passed. Additionally, the Cornell American University study that I previously noted estimated that the wage hike from $7.15 to $8.25 would result in over 16,000 jobs being lost in this state. So based upon the past increases to the minimum wage, we know that this bill will adversely affect the very people that we are saying that we want to help. The inescapable common sense conclusion that if we increase the operational cost of our employers, it's going to result in a decrease in the amount of people that they hire. What I urge and what I argue is that the best way to help the working poor of this state is to foster an atmosphere which encourages job formation and not job elimination. And to the credit of this legislature, that is exactly what we have done in the past 2 years. And the results are starting to come in. Based upon the last report by the New York State Department of Labor, there were 155,000 private sector jobs created in the past year. Currently, there's approximately 7.3 million private sector jobs, which is the highest amount of private sector jobs in this state at any given time in its history. And in March and April of this year, New York State accumulated or accounted for approximately 18% of all the private sector jobs created in the United States. This state is on the right course, and I believe that we're about to turn the corner, but we haven't turned that corner yet. New York State's unemployment rate is still at 8.5%, which is higher than the national average. We must continue down the path of economic recovery, and this bill diverts us from that path. In choosing between a small increase in the minimum wage or more jobs for people of this state, I choose jobs, Mr. Speaker, and for that reason, I'm going to encourage all my colleagues to vote in the negative on this bill.